I never thought one dinner could change everything. It all started 2 weeks before my brother Jason's wedding. Our family had gathered at my parents' place for a casual Sunday meal. My brother was engaged to Lauren, a beautiful, smart, kind woman we all adored. But I knew something about Jason that no one else at the table did. Something that made my stomach twist every time she smiled at him. Jason was cheating. I found out by accident a few months back. I was working late, delivering code for a tight client deadline, and I needed a break. I headed to a local bar somewhere quiet, where I wouldn't run into anyone. But I did. I saw Jason with another woman. They were tucked in a booth in the back, laughing like they'd been together forever. When I got closer, I saw her hand on his thigh. He didn't see me. I left before he could. I told myself I must have misunderstood. Maybe it was innocent. But then it happened again, different night. Same woman. That time they were kissing. So I confronted him. "Who is she?" I asked flat out one night after we grabbed beers. Jason didn't even blink. "None of your business." "She's not Lauren?" He shrugged, cool as ever. And my jaw dropped. "You're getting married, man." He looked at me like I was the idiot. "Yeah, you think I'm the only guy who messes around before the wedding. It's just fun. Lauren doesn't need to know." That was the moment I lost respect for him. I'd always looked up to Jason. He was the golden child, the success story. Everyone thought he walked on water. But now I saw who he really was. I debated for weeks. Do I tell Lauren? Do I blow this up? Or do I stay quiet and let her marry a liar? Every time I saw her, it got harder. She was so genuinely excited. She'd show me wedding ideas, ask my opinion on centerpieces, even talk about baby names. And every time I felt like a fraud. Then came that Sunday dinner. The whole family was there, a mom, dad, Jason, Lauren, even our grandma. We were laughing, passing plates, everything felt normal. But something in me cracked when Lauren leaned her head on Jason's shoulder and whispered, "I can't wait to be your wife." Jason grinned. He was so good at pretending. So I stood up. "I need to say something," I said, my voice louder than I intended. Everyone went quiet. Forks paused midair. Jason's eyes narrowed. "What are you doing?" I ignored him. "Lauren," I said, turning to her, "I'm sorry to do this in front of everyone, but you deserve the truth. Jason's been cheating on you." Silence. No one breathed. Jason stood up fast, knocking his chair back. "Are you kidding me?" Lauren looked between us, confused. "What are you talking about?" "He's been seeing another woman. I've seen them together twice." He admitted it to me. Lauren's face went pale. She looked at Jason. "Is that true?" Jason scoffed, trying to play it cool. "He's lying. He's jealous. He's always been jealous." I stepped forward. "That's not true. I didn't want to say anything, but you deserve to know before it's too late." My parents looked horrified. My mom covered her mouth. My dad muttered, "What the hell?" Lauren stood up slowly. "Who is she?" Jason didn't answer. Lauren grabbed her purse and walked out. Jason chased after her. The door slammed. And then, all eyes turned on me. My mom looked furious. "Why would you do that here? Like this?" I shook my head. Because no one else was going to. He was going to let her marry him while sneaking around. She could have found out another way. My mom snapped. Dad was quieter, but no less disappointed. "You blew up your brother's life." "He blew it up himself," I said. "I just lit the match." Grandma said nothing. Just looked at me with this weird mixture of sadness and maybe pride. I left right after that. No one tried to stop me. The next few days were brutal. I got angry texts from my parents. Jason blocked me. Lauren didn't reply when I reached out. And now I'm the villain in my own family. But I don't regret it. She deserved the truth. The fallout was worse than I expected. I thought maybe after the dust settled, someone would reach out. Maybe Mom would call, say she understood. Maybe Dad would realize I did the hard thing because it was right. Instead, radio silence for a week. Then the group chat lit up. "Mom, we're canceling Sunday dinners for a while. Too much tension. We all need space." No one replied. I stared at the message for a long time. That was her way of medicing away the only regular connection we had. I didn't respond, but I felt the sting. A few days later, I saw Lauren's engagement photo album vanish from Facebook. Then her relationship status disappeared. No new posts, nothing public. It was like she went dark. I wondered what she was going through. I wanted to talk to her, explain everything from the beginning, but I had to respect her silence. So I sat with the guilt, the silence, the isolation, until one night about a week and a half later, there was a knock at my door. I opened it to find Lauren standing there. No makeup, red, tired eyes. She looked like she hadn't slept. "Can I come in?" she asked. "Of course," I said, stepping aside. We sat in silence for a moment before she finally said, "I just needed to hear it from you, all of it." So I told her everything. How I saw them, what Jason said when I confronted him, how long I held on to the secret, how many nights I lay awake trying to decide what to do. I knew something was off, she whispered when I finished. I kept catching him in little lies, text messages that didn't add up, nights he came home late. But every time I brought it up, he flipped it on me, made me feel crazy. I clenched my fists. "He gaslit you," she nodded, tears slipping down her cheek. "And your family, your mom called me. She said I should forgive him, that I was ruining the family." I stared at her, stunned. "She said that to you?" Lauren nodded. "She said it wasn't my place to judge, that it was just a phase." I had to stand. I paced the room, fists tight. "That's insane. They're protecting him. She's his mother," Lauren said softly. "Maybe it's easier to believe I'm the problem." "You're not," I said firmly. "You never were." She looked at me then. "Thank you for telling me. Even if it wrecked everything, I couldn't let you marry someone who didn't respect you." She stood up. "I just wanted you to know I moved out. The wedding's off. I'm staying at a friend's place. I'm not going back." I nodded. "Heart heavy? And your family?" she asked. "They've made it clear whose side they're on." We both stood there for a moment, silent. Then she leaned in and hugged me. "Tight. You did the right thing," she whispered. After she left, I sat in the dark for hours. The next day, I got a call from Grandma. "You home?" she asked. "Yeah, mind some company." I laughed. "You're the only person who's called me since that night." "Of course." She came over with a brown paper bag full of cookies and iced tea. "You know," she said as we sat on the couch, "your uncle cheated on his wife before the wedding too. We didn't find out until after. It ruined her." I looked at her. "Really?" She nodded. "She was never the same after that. Quiet, shut down, stopped coming to family things." "What happened to him?" "He kept cheating, got divorced 5 years later, lost the kids in court, lives alone now." I exhaled slowly. She leaned closer. "You did the right thing. Don't let them convince you otherwise. Even Mom and Dad." She scoffed. "Your mother's so obsessed with image she forgets about truth. And your father's too passive to stand up to her." That was the most honest anyone in my family had been with me in weeks. Later that evening, I got a text. "Jason, you're dead to me." Just that. No explanation. No context. I stared at it for a long time, then deleted it. Another few days passed. Then something strange happened. Lauren posted on Instagram a simple photo of a cup of coffee and a window with the caption, "Sometimes it takes someone burning the house down to remind you it was never built right." The comments poured in. Supportive friends. People asking questions. No one from my family liked the post, but I did. Then she DM'd me. "Lauren, thanks again. I'm okay now. Hope you are too." And I was. Not completely, but getting there. But the final straw with my family came 2 weeks later. I ran into my mom at the grocery store. She didn't even say hello, just stared at me with this bitter, hollow look and said, "I hope you're happy." I blinked. "What? You humiliated him. You humiliated us. He did that himself," she glared. "You don't destroy your own blood like that. Not in public. Not like that." I took a step back. He was cheating. He was using her. What was I supposed to do? Let him? "You stay out of it," she snapped. "You let them handle their own problems." I shook my head. "I'm done, Mom." I walked away. Left my cart behind. Left her behind. And for the first time since this all began, I felt a little lighter. A week after I saw my mom in the store, I packed a small suitcase and drove 3 hours north to a cheap Airbnb in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't luxurious, a creaky old cabin with bad Wi-Fi and even worse plumbing, but it gave me something I hadn't had in weeks. Peace. No buzzing phone, no pitying looks, no awkward silences at work from coworkers who had clearly seen Lauren's post, but didn't know what to say. Just me, some cold beer, and a stack of paper I brought to write out everything I was feeling. No laptop, no Reddit, no distractions. That first night I sat on the porch, listening to crickets and thinking about everything. I hadn't cried yet. Not really. But it hit me hard all of a sudden. I had lost my family. I mean, not technically. But what do you call people who would rather protect a cheater than support someone who told the truth? People who punish you for being right. Yeah, I lost them. I spent most of that weekend reflecting, remembering little moments from the past I'd brushed off the way Mom always covered for Jason's mistakes. How Dad never said much of anything unless prompted. How Jason always got to be the golden child, even when he was clearly messing up. It was always little things that built into something bigger, like the time Jason crashed Dad's car in college while drunk and I got yelled at for not keeping an eye on him, or when he failed 2 semesters and Mom said it was because I pressured him too much to compete. Looking back, it wasn't that surprising they took his side. On Sunday night, I came back to town. I'd left my phone off the whole time. When I turned it on, there were a few missed calls, one from Dad, one from an unknown number, and 3 from Lauren. My heart jumped at the last one. I called her back, and she picked up immediately. "Hey," she said. Her voice sounded steadier than before. "Are you okay?" "I'm getting there," I said. "Took a little trip, cleared my head." There was a pause. Then, "Do you want to come over tomorrow? I think we should talk one last time." I showed up at her apartment the next evening. She had boxes stacked everywhere, the last of her stuff from the house she and Jason shared. She gestured for me to sit. "Jason's been trying to get me to talk," she said. "Told me he made a mistake. That he's changed." I rolled my eyes. "I told him I'd think about it," she added. "But I needed to see you first." "Why me?" "Because I think he's trying to manipulate me again, and I need to remind myself what the truth looks like." I nodded slowly. "You're not going back to him, right?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, she handed me her phone and pointed at a text thread. "Jason, you really gonna throw away 5 years because of one mistake? Your brother's always been jealous. You know that. He wanted you. Don't you see that? This is all part of some twisted obsession." I stared at the screen. My stomach turned. "He's trying to flip it on me," I said. "Yeah," she whispered, "but I don't believe him." I looked at her. "You sure?" "I am now." The next part surprised me. She told me she was going to write a post. Public. Tell her side. Not for revenge, but so that people like Jason couldn't control the narrative anymore. He'd been telling people I'm hysterical, that I'm crazy, even implied I cheated on him. I'm done staying quiet. I didn't try to talk her out of it. She posted it that night. Not naming names, but it was clear who she was talking about. It was raw, honest, and it ended with this line: "Sometimes family isn't who you're born with. It's who tells you the truth, even when it hurts." The next day, my phone exploded. Old family friends messaged me. A couple cousins I hadn't talked to in years said they were proud of me. My Aunt Dad's sister called crying, saying she always knew something was wrong with Jason and wished she'd spoken up sooner. And then came the message from my father. "Dad, your mother and I want to talk." No apology, no acknowledgement of what they'd done, just a demand. I didn't reply. 2 days later, Jason showed up at my work. I was in the parking lot, walking to my car, when I heard someone shout my name. I turned, and there he was. Eyes bloodshot, jaw clenched. "Real nice move, man," he spat. "You think you won something?" "I didn't win anything," I said calmly. "But Lauren deserved to know the truth. She was mine. She was never yours, Jason. That's the problem." He stepped closer. "You ruined my life." "No," I said. "You did that yourself." I thought he might swing at me. For a second, his fists tightened. But he didn't. He just stood there, shaking like he couldn't believe this was really happening. Then he turned and stormed off. I haven't seen him since. A week later, I got a letter in the mail. Handwritten. From Mom. "I don't agree with how you handled things, but I'm your mother and I will always love you. I hope someday you can forgive me for not seeing what you saw. Jason has left town. Said he needs time to think. I don't know what that means, but he's gone. I'm sorry we made you feel alone. That wasn't fair. If you want to come to dinner Sunday, we'll be here. I folded the letter up and put it in a drawer. Maybe I'll go. Maybe I won't. But for now, I was finally able to breathe. I didn't go to dinner that Sunday. I sat on my couch, phone face down, watching the clock tick past 6:00 p.m., while an old sitcom droned in the background. It wasn't that I didn't want to forgive them, maybe I did eventually. But forgiveness without accountability is just enabling. They hadn't apologized to me directly. Not really. And until they did, I wasn't going to pretend things were okay. Lauren texted that night. "You didn't go, did you?" "No." "Good. You're not ready. And neither are they." I smiled. It was strange how she had become my only lifeline through all of this, once my brother's fiancée. Now the only person who really understood what it felt like to be discarded for speaking the truth. Work got quieter. I guess people had moved on. Maybe they stopped caring, or maybe they just got used to the idea that the crazy brother story wasn't quite so crazy after all. One of the newer guys, Travis, approached me by the coffee machine one morning. "Hey man," he said. "Just wanted to say what you did. Telling the truth like that took balls." I gave a small nod. "Thanks." He hesitated before continuing. "My sister, she went through something kind of similar. Whole family turned on her. Took her years to come back from it. That hit harder than I expected. We weren't alone, it turned out." About 3 weeks after the post, Lauren called me out of the blue. "I need your help," she said. "Can you come over?" I was there in 15 minutes. She met me at the door, her face pale. "Jason's outside." I blinked. "What?" She pulled me inside, and sure enough, when I peeked through the blinds, Jason was standing across the street, just outside the ring of light from the street lamp, his hands stuffed in his pockets, pacing. "How long has he been there?" 30 minutes. Maybe more. "Did he say anything?" "No. Just showed up and started texting me creepy stuff. Like, 'You're mine and you don't get to erase me.'" A chill ran through me. "Call the cops," I said. "I already did. They said since he's not on the property, there's not much they can do unless he makes a threat or tries to come inside." I couldn't believe it. "So what? We just wait?" She nodded, her jaw tight. "I hate this. I hate feeling scared." I sat beside her on the couch. "You're not alone. If he tries anything, I'm here." We waited. And then, about 15 minutes later, we heard the soft ping of a rock hitting glass. Lauren's face drained of color. I jumped up and went to the door, yanking it open just in time to see Jason walking away down the sidewalk. "Hey!" I yelled. He didn't turn around. I started to follow him, but Lauren grabbed my arm. "No, Dottie, go. Let him go." "But," I already called again. "They're sending someone now. Let them handle it." We stood in silence until the flashing lights of the patrol car showed up 10 minutes later. Jason was long gone, of course, but the officer was nice enough to file a formal report this time. He even suggested a restraining order. Lauren filed for one the next day. After that, things quieted down again. Lauren changed her locks. I started walking her to her car when she left work. We both kept a low profile, not because we were afraid, but because we knew Jason. He didn't give up easily, and I wouldn't put it past him to try something again. But weeks passed. Then, a month. And nothing happened. Maybe he really had left town. Then came the update. Not from Jason, from Mom. She posted it on Facebook, of all places. A long, rambling post about how families make mistakes and it's time to come together. She tagged me, Lauren, and bizarrely Jason too. Worse, she included pictures. Old family ones. Me and Jason as kids. A Thanksgiving dinner from years ago. A shot of Jason and Lauren at their engagement party. She was trying to rewrite the narrative. Pretend everything could just go back to how it was before. Like nothing had happened. Lauren was furious. "She doesn't get to do this," she said, scrolling through the post on her phone. "This isn't her story to tell." I didn't comment on the post. Neither did Lauren. But I messaged my mom directly. "This isn't okay. You're using our trauma to pretend nothing happened." "I'm trying to bring the family back together," she replied. "You can't stay angry forever." "It's not anger. It's boundaries." She didn't respond after that. 2 days later, Lauren got a letter in the mail. No return address. Just her name on the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper, typed. No signature. "You've ruined everything. I hope you're happy. If I can't have peace, neither can you. There were no fingerprints, no clues, just the message ominous and cold. Lauren called the police again. This time, they took it seriously. They suggested putting up cameras. We did. I didn't sleep that night. I kept picturing Jason outside, watching, waiting, but nothing happened. Then, about a week later, everything changed. I was at work when Lauren called. She sounded panicked. He's in the building. What? I'm at the grocery store on 8th. Jason just walked in. He saw me and started following me. I ducked into the back, but I think he's still out there. I'm on my way. I didn't even ask my manager. I just grabbed my keys and ran. It took me 10 minutes to get there. I pulled into the parking lot and scanned the front entrance. Nothing. I went inside. The store was half empty, quiet. A cashier gave me a strange look as I power walked past the registers. Lauren? I called. In the back, she whispered over the phone. Near the stockroom. I found her crouched behind a display of cleaning supplies, eyes wide, clutching her phone like a weapon. I haven't seen him in a few minutes, she said. But he's here. I swear he's here. We waited another minute and then I saw him. Down the next aisle, slowly walking, scanning the shelves. And when he turned and saw us, he smiled. I didn't think I'd just step between Jason and Lauren. He kept walking, calm and slow, like this was a normal grocery run. But the look in his eyes, it wasn't calm. It was dark, focused. Jason, I said, holding my hand out. You need to leave. Now. He tilted his head. I'm just buying some things. What? Is that a crime? Following Lauren is. Sending her threats is. You're violating the restraining order. He laughed a dry, humorless sound. You mean that piece of paper that ruined my life? Lauren was behind me, breathing hard. Phone clutched tight to her ear. I've already called the cops, she said loudly. They're on their way. Jason's eyes flicked to her. Of course you did. Then he took a step closer. I could see the tension in his jaw, the twitch in his fingers. He wanted to do something, but he didn't, not yet. You should have stayed out of it, David, he said to me. This was between me and her. No, I snapped. You dragged us all into this. You cheated. You lied. And now you want to play the victim. Jason's face twisted into something ugly. You were always jealous. Ever since we were kids, you couldn't stand that I was the one who got the attention. The one they loved. I didn't flinch. They loved an illusion. You've been fooling everyone your whole life. That's over now. Footsteps echoed behind him, 2 police officers coming down the aisle. Hands on their holsters. Jason turned slowly, hands raised. What? I didn't touch anyone. One of the officers said, Sir, we need to talk to you outside. Jason looked back at me one last time. You think you won. But this doesn't end here. The cops escorted him out. The next hour was a blur. Lauren gave her statement. I did too. They said they'd review the security footage and press charges for violating the order. Jason was taken in for questioning. It wasn't the dramatic, movie-style ending I expected. No handcuffs slammed. No shouting. Just the slow unraveling of a man who had finally run out of ways to lie. The next few weeks brought a strange sense of peace. Jason was officially charged with harassment and violating a protective order. The letter, the grocery store, the stalking, it all added up. His lawyer tried to spin it as a misunderstanding, but the court didn't buy it. He took a plea deal and was ordered to mandatory counseling and probation. He couldn't come near Lauren or me for 2 years. It wasn't perfect justice, but it was something. My mom still didn't talk to me. Neither did my dad. I think, in their minds, I was the one who broke the family. Not Jason, not the lies. Just me for airing it all out. But I stopped caring. Sometimes healing isn't reconciliation. Sometimes it's closing the door and walking away for good. Lauren and I got closer. Not in a romantic way. We were trauma bonded, maybe. But it was more than that. She was someone who had seen me at my lowest, and I'd seen her at hers. We supported each other, respected each other, and for the first time in a long time, I felt safe. Final update 6 months later. I got a Facebook message from Jason. It was short. You ruined my life. I hope you're happy. I didn't reply. I screenshot it, forwarded it to the court and blocked him. Old habits die hard, I guess. I've told this story here because I know some of you will read it and think that couldn't happen to me. But it can. It does. Sometimes the people we think we know best, the ones who smile the biggest, who charm every room they're hiding, rot beneath the surface. And when you expose it, be ready for the world to turn on you. But do it anyway. Because sunlight, as they say, is the best disinfectant. And even if you lose family, friends, jobs, you gain something more valuable: yourself. Subscribe for more videos.